Well, I said I'd do a quick little video introducing you to the 3 new team members, so let's check them out, say hi and see what we've got. So here's our first one. This is a 2007 VE Holden Calais. So we picked this one up less than a week ago. Pretty clean, a few little dings and dents, scratch there, little bing there, and something there. Kind of look like hail marks, but they're in a line, so probably not. But yeah, other than that, cosmetically pretty good. Same sort of condition inside as well. We do have one little problem though, and that is, if you see in there, I can't keep that full to the brim. So what I think's happening is we may have a little vapor leak either in the cap itself, or we might have a little air leak in this overflow line here as well. And when we look over here at this one, which I think is part of the overflow system, looks like someone might have already tried to fix something here. So fingers crossed, we just got a little air leak. And what that means is that as the engine heats up, the coolant expands, it expands into the overflow or the expansion tank over here. And then as it cools down, it's supposed to suck it back in, but instead it's sucking air in somehow. So we're getting air through this line here or air through the cap. So our first guess is going to be to switch out these lines, put new lines in there, and a new cap if that doesn't work. And fingers crossed, that's all this one needs. But it's been driving around for a week and it hasn't had any issues. It doesn't seem to be losing coolant, like that level doesn't drop any lower than it is now in there. And we've still got plenty of coolant in the overflow as well. So hopefully just a little air leak or something that's causing it to suck air as it cools down. So that's really the only issue we've found with this one, and we've named this guy Charco. So that's what the boys named him. So that's Charco. And then over here we have Slick. Slick is a 2010 Mercedes E230 CGI, which has got the baby little 1.8 turbo motor, which means pretty fuel efficient, but somehow it's also got a lot of grunt for the size as well. So it's a pretty impressive little setup. This one is cherry throughout, amazing condition inside and out. Really can't fault this car at all. It's just really clean. The problem with Slick though is Slick is losing coolant, and for a few weeks there we couldn't work out where it was going. It was kind of stressful, worried it was internal, but just this weekend he's finally presented himself. So it was taking about 500 mils of coolant every, I don't know, 100 kilometers or so, or even less. Pretty fast rate of coolant loss, and we were not getting any drips out of the bottom. So we stress tested it the other day. We popped it in the garage over there and let it run for like an hour and a half and really heat up. And finally it presented itself, and it's got a little leak all the way down in there somewhere. Worst case scenario, it's a new radiator. And in these cars with the baby motor and lots of space, that's not that scary. And then once that's all done, hopefully that'll be the end of our coolant loss. And then this guy will be ready to go and serve. So that's Slick. And last but not least, we have Emma here. Emma is a 2006 Honda Legend. In American money, that's an Acura RL, I think. RL, not TL, RL. And this one's pretty clean too, not as clean as the others. A few little blemishes on the interior, but it's good enough for a budget rental. Drives really nice. It did have a few little problems. The binnacle up in there didn't display, but we fixed that. I took some video of that, so I'll splice something together for you later. Another issue is the hazed out mirrors there. Hello, I see you. Those are sort of those self-dimming mirrors, and that's kind of all failed inside it. It's not the end of the world. I tried to get replacement glass. They sent me the wrong size glass, and so we haven't fixed anything there, but eventually I'll get some glass custom cut to make them nice and clear again. But they're fine to drive behind most of the time, a little bit dark at night, but not too bad. And then the only issue that we're really struggling with Emma is it has a faulty, a transmission position sensor. It's a very occasional intermittent fault, but when it does fault, the dashboard lights up like a Christmas tree and gives all kinds of warnings. And it actually comes up as an emissions warning, but we've dug into it and worked out it is the transmission switch. But also, the more we drive it, the less it does it. So it has been returned to us on a tow truck once. That was a bit embarrassing. It's done it one other time on a rental. It did it a few times for me when I first got the car, but it hasn't done it now for about 6 or 8 weeks. And so we're continuing to run the gauntlet there. So we're just letting it ride at the moment, and hopefully the more it drives, the better it gets. But if it starts to become frequent, then we'll start digging that switch out and working out what's going on there. So these are all fairly high mileage. They're all in the mid 200 range. I think this one over here is closer to 270. This one's closer to 230, and this one's right in the middle at 250. But that means we got them all for a really good buy. Each of them has their own little story to tell, and we'll get some video content one by one, but hopefully nothing too serious on any of them. And Emma here has already been working for 6 months and is just about to reach half of its purchase price in generated revenue. So that's pretty good, considering it was a soft, slow start trying to fix those few things and decide whether it was okay to put it out on the road with the faults. And I think we made the right choice with that gamble. Those faults have pretty much gone away, and as I say, for the last 6 weeks of rentals, probably a couple of thousand kilometers, it hasn't had any issues at all. And there you go, that's the 3 new team members: Emma, Slick and Charco. Emma's out working. We've already got the equipment and everything ready to go on these two, so we're going to set that up quickly. Might as well, even if we're not renting them out, it at least puts GPS tracking on the vehicles. So we've got it, we might as well put it in, and hopefully we'll get this one out on the road soon. And I'm actually going to list this one live this week regardless, because I think it's good to go. Even with that little vapor leak, I don't think that's affecting functionality or risking any kind of coolant loss or overheating, but we do need to fix that. So when we have some time, we'll play with that. So 3 new team members introduced. Hi everybody, bye everybody, we'll catch you next time.